So, quick recap from the last session. The crew of the Valor successfully rescued several POWs from a Cardassian POW camp in the Chintoka system. There, you were actually able to recover a long lost intelligent operative named Captain Rogers, who seemed to haven't aged a day in nearly 60 years. And with that, we're going to start today's session off with Ensign Michaels working in the lab on board the on board the Valor. Since the crew is now able to finally return on board the ship. Ensign Michaels, you are currently working on your little side project that you've been kind of doing in your spare time. The object in question is a tetrahedron sphere with strange writings on each side of it. It's been kind of nagging at you ever since you got a hold of it on an archaeological dig some time ago.
I'd like to run a sensor scan of it through the computer.
All right. With it to start collecting information on it, give me reason plus science difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Focus in ancient technology.
No, you're not sure if this is technology or not yet. You have suspicions it might be, but you're unsure.
Focus in archaeology.
Do you have metallurgy?
I do not.
One momentum generated, and if someone would like to get the ship's sensors plus science.
You get it, Cap, or you want me to?
Go on ahead. I'm still pulling up money.
Okay. No help, but no hurt.
The sphere in question is made up of several different elements, one including neutronium, as well as other composite-based alloys. But the neutronium is the one that really sticks out, which gives it its heavy weight.
I would like to run a search through the computer of all species who use neutronium.
It is very limited. Currently, there are no active species that use neutronium. Like, computer just spits out real quick. It's no known current civilizations use neutronium.
Question, how far back is it searching?
Present time.
I'd like to enter the search of all known civilizations, past, present.
Give me reason plus science difficulty. No, reason con difficulty of 2, assisted by these ship's computers plus con.
Determination in the value science is increased by learning.
What value you were going to use?
Determination in the value science increased by learning.
Ship still get to assist since there are 2 successes on the board with a determination.
I'll accept the determination spend, and yes, ship still does assist with computers con. There is a momentum gained. There is a complication.
We do have 2 if you want to quash it, Michaels.
I would like to.
Okay.
You find on the record the most recent encounter is with the USS Enterprise on the so-called Doomsday machine that they encountered. The outer hull was composed of neutronium.
Does it have anything that may look like input?
It has a series of writings on each facing of the actual sphere itself.
I'd like to analyze them into the computer just as for data storage.
This will be an extended task. This extended task will be a reason plus science, assisted by the ship's computers plus science, difficulty of 5, work 35, magnitude of 6, with the resistance of 3, to analyze the alien hieroglyphs that are on the sphere itself. And you'll get one roll at this, and then we're going to cut away to somebody else.
I would like to give you a threat.
Okay.
Also, would any of my focuses apply?
I'll take archaeology at an increased complication. That does it. So roll 6 challenge dice.
I also believe you get a threat for that
Yes,
untapped potential.
and you have a bonus momentum currently.
Is it 1 or 2 momentum for piercing?
It is 1 momentum for 2 piercing. But go ahead and roll your challenge dice first before you spend that bonus momentum. Currently, that is only 2 work.
I will spend that bonus momentum to re-roll the other 3 dice.
Okay. That is just enough for the breakthrough. for the first one. And you're making a little progress as it's finding some ancient correlations to different types of aliens, different alien languages throughout the galaxy that you've encountered. But it's going to be a long, slow process to figure out what this is. And with that, we're going to go to the next scene in Theater of the Mind. You're not there. Shoot. Admiral Haggard. Currently, you're in the sick bay of the Starbase, currently looking over at Captain Rogers, who is not so much in a comatose state, but resting comfortably, and his mind seems to be wandering left and right. No information has been gathered when Admiral Whitney approaches you.
So is Rogers conscious or just kind of?
Kind of conscious, kind of not. He mumbles every now and then. He seems to be
In and out?
Yeah, he seems to be suffering from something. The medical staff is not quite sure what it is. He's at moments he has moments of clarity, and other times he's just like he's somewhere else.
Okay. Ah, Hunter. I thought you'd left already.
I just returned, Admiral. Well, Lucy's. So how is our boy Rogers here?
Well, physically there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with him, not at least that our medical personnel can tell, but he hasn't been fully conscious since he's been brought aboard. Kind of surfaces barely now and then, mutters something, nothing of any coherence, and then slips back away. Does seem to be in some sort of distress, but as I said, there's no sign of any disease or physical injury. Whatever it is, it's mental. Yes.
Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Apologies, slight interruption. That is too bad to hear, Lucy's. I was hoping to get some more out of him of what he's been up to for the past 60 years, or, well, at least what happened to him. I do have some good news. I managed to pull some strings for you with your recent predicament.
You mean my
Nausicaan problem.
Tell.
I was able to pull the Excalibur, the Expedition, and the Okinawa to this location, and well, out of some reluctance from another admiral at Starfleet headquarters, I was able to get the Venture pulled out of mothballs. She may be an old Connie class, but she'll get the job done. Tell me, how goes your search for the fire base, or well, this Nausicaan Starbase?
Slowly, but with the reinforcements, thank you, by the way, that should allow us to get back out there. With the Valor under extensive repairs, and Montana, even when it was still in service, not really fit for that kind of navigating. It's been slow going, not to mention the radiation fields that prevent warp travel in that region and make it a perfect ambush spot. What's the name of the anomaly in the system? Tracks or stellar phenomenon,
It's just
rather.
the cluster itself is that way.
Yeah, what is the name of this cluster?
The Argosis cluster.
Argosis cluster. The anomalies in the Argosis cluster, plus the normal things, it's been slow going. But with that kind of reinforcements, we might be able to flush them out. How did you swing it?
Pulled in a lot of favors. You owe me one for this one.
Call it in whenever you need it. I'll see if maybe I can't talk to Rogers. Show a lot more road wear than he does, but it might just be that seeing a familiar face from his recent past might jar something loose.
Maybe so. You're the only one that I know of that still knows him.
The one that's still alive, at any rate.
He didn't want to say it,
Well,
but you kind of see the expression of his like, I didn't want to say that, but you made the comment.
Haggard thinks for a minute and goes, well, maybe not the only one alive. Yeah, Haggard will spend some time with Rogers. Trying to be on hand when he comes back up to the surface, see what I can do.
Izzy's kind of lying in bed resting. You hear him, you kind of hear him like mumbling under his breath. To listen in, give me, I want to say Insight Con, difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Focuses will apply here. Make a threat for the third die. Ooh. That was actually Haggard. Yeah, I'm not getting anything from that. Wow.
Unfortunately, it's just so low on the audible tone, like you just can't make out what he's saying.
Right. Damn it, Rogers. I tried to say, what sort of fix have you gotten us into this time? This is another dance around with Eshko or something like that. Trying to bring up names from the past. Maybe jar him.
I must save her. No, don't leave me.
Ooh, who are you trying to save? Is it your wife, that Bajoran? I ever learned her name.
No, you didn't.
We saved her, Max. We got her out of that slave pen.
It's too dangerous. You can't go back. And then he kind of slowly starts to wake up. Who are you?
Believe it or not, I'm Ulysses Haggard.
Time is
Not
not.
all of us have.
Um,
Bad.
I guess time hasn't been kind to you, sir. What are you wearing? Looking kind of puzzled at the uniforms, like, what is going on?
What star date do you think it is?
9817.4.
Well, you're a little off. Actually, stardate 35347.4. You've been out of circulation for almost 60 years, Rogers. And yet, don't look, or according to my medtechs, aren't physically, biologically, a day older than when I last saw you. Give or take. For the rest of us, 100 years have passed and more. Well, not quite. That's totally wrong. 80 years have passed.
I'm sorry, who are you again?
Haggard. You knew me as Captain Haggard 60
Time.
years ago.
I guess time hasn't been kind to you, sir.
Well, this is going to be a fun conversation. It's been very kind to you, though. You've been running silent for 60 years.
Um, how is that possible?
Honey, that was my next question to ask you. What we can tell, you came into possession of some sort of Bajoran artifact and then dropped off Starfleet's intelligence's radar and everyone else's, as far as we can tell, until you turned up a month or so ago and in Cardassian space without the artifact, and shortly we're spending a lovely vacation in our Cardassian POW camp where some of my people got you out.
Um, thank you. Where is this place again?
This is Starbase 211 along the Federation Cardassian border. Or actually, probably more accurate to say along the disputed zone between the Federation and Cardassian borders. It's 2358.
57, but close enough.
Okay. Sorry, I'm eating soup and flipping through notes and trying to.
It's been 60 years. Um, sorry, who are you again?
I'm Ulysses Haggard. I know time hasn't been kind to me. You've been missing for 60 years. You had a Bajoran artifact. You disappeared 60 years ago. You reappeared recently. The Cardassians nabbed you. Some of my people freed you and brought you here to Starbase 211 along the Federation Cardassian border.
I see. Is there something wrong with me? Because I feel like we've done this multiple times, yet I can't remember anything.
And the medical people can't find anything physically wrong with him, including neurologically.
Yeah, neurologically he should be sound.
From what we can tell, no. From the evidence in front of me, yes, something's odd. And I would suspect it has something to do with whatever happened to you over the last 60 years. I'm going to call somebody over. See, scan for chronoton radiation or anything unusual in the quantum states around or in Captain Rogers.
And nurse comes up and starts scanning. I'm sorry, Admiral. I don't detect anything like that.
You're sure there's no sign of neurological damage?
I am positive it's like he's displaying signs of dementia, yet none of the actual physical signs of it, just the mental.
There you have it, Rogers. What's the last thing you do remember?
Boarding a ship. My ship.
What ship?
Mine. Where's Kib?
That I don't know. What about your wife, the Bajoran we rescued?
Wife? I'm married?
Maybe not your wife, but you certainly seemed deeply attached to a certain young Bajoran woman who found herself the wrong side of a slave pen. Remember?
I mean, I have plenty of friends in that nature, but I don't remember a Bajoran woman.
I'm right that she was Bajoran, right, Prax?
You clearly remember that he was very specific on rescuing this one Bajoran woman, and he, when his assignment was technically up, he actually left the intel service, but kind of kept in tabs and like sent whatever information he found out along to Starfleet Intelligence, but he never worked in any sort of capacity for Starfleet Intelligence anymore after that incident. That's what you would know.
Yeah, she was had been captured by the Bardesians. Yeah, got her out from under a couple of Cardassian gulls who were about to buy her. The station was called Unazola, I think. Zikgel traders. You remember any of that?
I don't. I
Do you remember Kib?
yes, Kib. He better not have broken my ship.
Oh, he had quite a crush on my chief engineer at the time.
He did?
Yeah. She transferred out before their coffee date, though. Nothing ever came of it. So you remember boarding your ship. When was that? What were you doing?
I was on my way to meet someone at a colony. We never made contact with them before. But they
Which
had
colony?
it's near Cardassian space. It's slightly unexplored. Really never been surveyed.
I'll grab a pad and see if I can't bring up a basic map of this region of space. A modern one, which probably is a little bit more detailed than what he remembers. We've pushed out a little farther since then. Whereabouts?
I'm sorry, I'm still part of Starfleet Intelligence. I don't. As he just kind of stops and just stares blankly. Like. Almost as he's looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
He just stops talking and just stares blankly, like into like just an empty part of the room where there's just like a wall almost.
I go look it up and wander over. Well, I didn't learn much. The last thing he remembers was stepping onto his ship before heading to some colony. As soon as I tried to get him to pin down what the colony's location, he zoned out. Last thing he said was he's still part of Starfleet Intelligence. Any way you can dig out the authentication codes to have? Given that, he might be more forthcoming. But he keeps seeming to slip back to a certain point. We'll be talking, he'll be mostly coherent, and then all of a sudden he will ask me who I am again. But each time he seems to be a little bit more coherent for a little longer. If we had his old Starfleet Intelligence authentication codes that he would recognize, might be able to keep him cognizant long enough to learn a little more. Or for that matter, if that visit to the colony, which he seems to think took place while he was still in Starfleet Intelligence, might have been a mission directive. But the way Rogers worked and intelligence worked in this sector back then, he was pretty much self-directing. So there might not be any record.
Most were at that point in time. Sounds familiar. There was a colony, the Joran colony he went to. It was long before he met you, though.
Thought it was Stardate 9, and can I repeat whatever that Stardate was? I'm afraid I didn't write it down.
That's long after he retired. But the colony he spoke of, that belongs to Cardassian space now. Cardassians took it over. Kind of like thinks for a moment. 65-ish years ago. Well, back when you were captain still of the Argo. Well,
So before he disappeared. assuming that's the colony he's talking about. The region it was in was not terribly well explored at the time.
I'll see what information I can dig up on that for you, and I'll get that to you. See if you can't jog in one of your memory or his.
Keep trying.
Anyway, I have work to done. Good luck.
Admiral?
With that, we're going to cut over to the bridge of the Valor. Captain Maxwell, you received kind of preliminary stuff as you've kind of taken, maybe you're dead, the ship is mostly finished up with repairs. Crew is able to walk around the ship again. You found a lot of key stuff replaced, including your chair, along with other things. Some personal items were damaged, kind of put in a box as your ready room took a nasty hit during the battle. But your standing orders are to wait for the orders until a scouting team can locate the Nausicaan Starbase. Are you there, Captain Maxwell? Captain Maxwell, are you...
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Had troubles.
I didn't know. Did you hear what I said earlier?
No, I did not. Audio cut out for me.
Okay, so the ship has been mostly repaired. Crews are able to get back on board. Repairs are finishing up, so the crew of the Valor are on light duty until the repairs are completed. You're currently on standby orders, and awaiting to hear from, at least the task force is waiting to hear from a scouting team to locate the Nausicaan Starbase.
Alrighty. Captain Maxwell would have standing orders for ship readiness checks, reports as soon as repairs are finished in sections and ready to get underway. He's probably in his ready room right now. Probably just going over reports.
Okay. Um, what else is everyone else doing?
The Shran is multitasking. For one thing, getting his new console dialed in because he was injured so badly during the battle when his console blew up under him and around him. But also overseeing the department reports um, and making sure supplies and all that good stuff are loaded. Um, personnel replacements, all the usual first officer stuff when a ship is kind of being refitted and about to head out. Basically, managing things.
Taven like to come on the bridge about this time. Wide berth of yes. Sir, I think we have a serious problem.
Shran will hold up his hand in a wait a second gesture as he finishes listening to a report. Sounds good. Just make sure it's back online by 0400. We're gonna need full power to be able to flow through those conduits. The Shran out. What is it, Commander?
Sir, we have a very serious problem. I don't think that we'll be able to ship off on schedule if this doesn't get repaired.
Well, what's going on?
Just came from the mess, sir. The coffee machine is down. We currently do not have any way of coffee.
Well, that sounds like an engineering problem, or at least a steward's problem. We're still at Starbase 211. Have them, if you can't effect repairs, have them effect a replacement.
At once, sir. I'll tell you. I read up about the old missions of Admiral Haggard. From what I read, he actually had a specialist in coffee that made sure that there was always coffee on board.
Shran kind of shakes his head in amazement. Humans. All right. I've got 18 things to do and not enough time to do any of them. Let me know if you run across anything else.
Yes, sir. And making a wide.
Yashimura, what are you up to?
Well, I think he will. I think Yamashara will look into the engineering a little bit and see just kind of like go through a little, go through uh all the just the rundown of the ambassador class. This is what this class of ship is.
Yes, it's an ambassador class vessel.
Right. I think he'll just go through the rundown on how a ambassador class operates. Go through a quick rundown and perhaps see if he can't make any modifications. Because he's not. I don't. Yeah, he has not been on a been on an ambassador class. Because the last ship he was on was a Miranda.
Yes, it was a Miranda.
Yeah.
You start going through the technical manuals for the Valor and ambassador classes in general. It's a fairly lengthy study, but for the most part, you can make whatever sort of modifications you want. But the ship is considered state of the art uh, compared to what you're used to on the Miranda class you last served on.
Okay. Um. Any big any differences between the two classes other than the size?
Um, the Miranda was upgraded to from its Duotronic to isolinear chips that it used to run on. Um, most of the key systems are the same for the most part. It's just they're slightly better version, a little bit more finer tuned on the Valor than it was on your last posting.
All right. Um. Is there anything I can do to? Well, what about the warp core? What's the what's the speed on the warp core? On the warp, its warp capabilities comparison to the Miranda.
The maximum cruising speed is warp factor 9. Normal cruising speed is warp 7.2. Emergency warp is 9.6 for 12 hours. I think for the Miranda, it's warp factor. Normal cruise is warp factor 6. Max cruise is warp factor 8. And max, I think, is 8.7 for 12 hours. So she is quite much more faster than what you're used to.
Okay.
In general,
Can go ahead.
in general, she is, even though like she's a big ship for compared to what your previous posting.
All right. I think he will have an interesting time being on a much bigger ship. Probably have a get some time for him to get used to on a bigger ship. But can he look into in any the can I look into perhaps making any modifications to the warp engines? Uh, Based off of, or actually no. What was far? How long can the Miranda go at emergency warp?
Most ships are rated for their emergency warp 12 hours.
Okay, every Starfleet vessel is 12 hours. Okay.
Yeah, there are very few ships that can exceed that. Um, Usually some special modification, but usually when they push the engines that hard, they get more downtime for when they have to cool the warp, the cells off.
Right. All right. Um. I will try to look into looking into the previous data, because he would try to look into information on anything that the prior chief of engineering before me, what he did in engineering, just to get to know what kind of stuff he's kind of up to, or or up against.
I mean, you do that. Um, he made some slight speed modification or endurance modifications to the Valor to where it could last slightly longer at its maximum warp, but those modifications were the procedure was lost after the conflict because there was damage to your computer core.
Okay. Can I replicate the same
You'll have to
thing?
start from scratch on that project.
Oh, so I can't use some of his own work for like a for like a basis of the
Uh,
theory?
no, the actual procedure for it was lost when the computer core being replaced.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just try to replicate what he did.
Okay, that is a project for another day. With that, we are going to go to the next scene on board the USS Stingray. So in the character sheet, everyone should have access to 5 characters plus the ship and 1 probe. The USS Stingray is part of a task force to search for the firebase. The Stingray is a no-berth class vessel, but one thing that she has a great advantage for is her sensors, and she's able to see much further than most Starfleet vessels. For this, each player can pick one of the pre-created characters for the Stingray. Just announce which one you're playing. But there's 5 to choose from.
Is Thomas the chief engineer, or is it the
It's Zash is the chief engineer. He is the Tellerite. Yeah, is the chief engineer. Thomas is the chief of security. Jezreel is the science officer. Olsen is the con and executive officer, and Jordan is the captain.
I'll take science if that's okay with everybody. Just roll.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take Zash. I have never played a Tellarite before, so this will be my first time.
I think I'll take McCurrick.
That leaves the captain and Olsen. Olsen's the executive officer and flight controller.
So I could be the captain. Never done.
You can be the captain. You can play Captain Ava Jordan.
All right, I'll play the captain.
All right. And Michaels, that leaves Olson. You okay playing the executive officer and flight controller?
I will be.
All right. Currently, the Stingray has just entered its operational area and has begun searching for the Nausicaan base. With the Stingray's advanced sensors, you guys will be able to notice enemy ships a little bit sooner before they'll be able to notice you. And I'm going to switch over to the actual map. One sec. There are 2 planets two systems within the Argos cluster out of its 6 stars, which you do have sensor contact link with. But because they're inhabited and there is a colony or there's an indigenous life, the one you're closest to is actually a Federation colony, and the one at the top, and the one at the top is the indigenous population on Targa 4. Or Tagran, or the Tagran system, I bet. But what you see is kind of what you get for sensors. Any questions?
Our objective is to find the pirate base.
Yes. Preliminary. You have a kind of preliminary understanding where it's at, sort of. And it's. I don't know if you can see it or not, but.
So it's somewhere north of us.
Kind of in a diagonal. It's somewhere that way, according to the freighters that you captured.
Be aware that we are only armed with phasers, and we are a scale 3 vessel with a grand total of 10 power.
How are you talking about? This is going to be a fighting ship. And I'm sure the captain intends to go into harm's way. Anyone who does want to come along had better get off right now.
Too late. It's a long walk home.
All right. Well, Captain, what would you like to do here?
Let's head A3.
Control con difficulty of 1 since the way the ship's engine's con.
Does Olson make that roll?
Yeah, Michael's made the roll, so because he's playing as Olsen. 3 momentum so far. Whoever wants to roll for the Stingray.
You want to do it, Taven, or you want me to grab it?
If which one is it?
Engine's
Stingray.
con. Yeah, it's the Stingray ship. Should be under Task Force Argo, USS Stingray characters.
There we are. All right, what was the roll?
Engine's con.
On
3 momentum gain. You move into that sector. Now, keep in mind, you can launch probes. You just have to let me know what square you wish, or sort of has to be within your visual to where it's gonna go. But yeah, you can kind of launch a probe for greater visibility to see further ahead.
All right. Now our scanners are able to definitively say there's no base or anything on that planet that's orbiting.
Essentially, right now your sensors are reading, kind of empty space, just the general interference coming from this region.
And I think this is a Federation colony. He said.
Yes, that is a Federation colony. You're aware of it. They have a communication link up with you. But
all as well.
Yeah, all as well.
How far can we launch probes? Just into the hex in front of us, or?
Yeah, to the hex in front of you.
I could launch it. We could launch it to J4, but not I4.
Right.
Now, how much would the probe illuminate if we?
About the same as your current scanning range. It's just it's amplifying your sensors. So.
Okay. Now, if I send it to J4, can I then push it basically like the ship, or is it done?
It's done. When you launch the probe, it's done.
Okay.
It sits there. After some time, you'll lose contact link as the probe loses power. So.
All right. Well, let's keep going forward to J4.
Control con, difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's engines con. Gain a momentum.
How many probes do we have? Was it one?
We're in Oberth. We probably got a bay full of them.
You have a bay full of them. There's a reason why you don't have photon torpedoes. It's to launch probes, not torpedoes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thought the Oberth was a medical ship.
It's typically a survey vessel.
Oh.
2 momentum gained.
Capped.
Well, nothing. Let's head over to J6.
Yep, same roll. One momentum gained.
Float.
Should be maxed at this one. It shouldn't be a float.
Okay. Capped.
Difficulty is 1 base for any movement in this region.
Okay. Well, let's keep heading up. Is that I7? That's right above us there?
Yes, that's I7.
Let's go to I7. Get a bingo.
You have a float. You move up, and on extreme range, you see contact of a Nausicaan raider near your location.
Have they seen us yet?
They can see adjacent hexes.
Okay, so they can't see.
Can't see you yet. So
If
they get to
if
go.
I turned up. Okay.
So at this point, because you're close, you guys just went. It is now their go. I am going to roll a d6, depending on the dice. That's the hex they move to the hex they move. So starting from F6 being 1, then over 2, then down 3, 4, 5, and then 6.
That's our luck, all right.
I'm going to make a roll to see if they know. So you guys get to react to this. They just moved. I have to roll to see if they see you. So you guys need to either push yourself away from them or engage in conflict.
Could we lower our power emissions to basically try to drift and make it more difficult to detect us?
You could. You can create advantage to increase the difficulty to see you. Or like I said, you can move.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to get out of Dodge, as it were. Take us to, was it I-9?
Straight up right here.
Yep.
Control con difficulty of 1.
That ship
And,
doesn't see us, right?
2 float. I have to make a roll to see if they even notice you. So
if possible, I would like to make that advantage where we kind of lower our power to make it a little more difficult to detect.
you would immediately drop your power to 5.
Yeah.
Well, we're not a combat ship, so if we get into combat, we're screwed anyways. What is it? Just going to increase our difficulty be detected by 1, or what would be the actual effect?
And be aware that our number of power is also the number that we can spend to warp out, so the better chance we have to report back without getting run down in warp.
So we would have to go basically lose half our power.
Right, so that if we all of a sudden got in a situation where we found the base but we were discovered, we'd only be able to spend 4 to warp out, which means they could catch up with us pretty quickly and easily.
Okay, let's stay at full power then.
Captain, recommend we launch a probe back towards the original sector where we first spotted the Nausicaan vessel. Probe might be small enough to go undetected, particularly if we send it on a parabolic course.
Agreed. Make it so.
Yeah, like launch a probe into H8.
You launch a probe into HH to give me control plus security difficulty of 1, assisted by these ships. I guess it actually would be weapons security.
I'm guessing shipboard tactical system doesn't cover that.
I'll allow it because technically it's like firing a torpedo.
Wow.
The probe explodes.
I'd like to spend my determination to re-roll that, but indefatigable confidence.
Sure. There is a complication.
Squash it. At least I got the success.
Just as you fire the probe, the ship enters that hex. It appears to be following something.
Captain, I think they might have gotten a blip of us on their sensors. I'm not sure yet.
Keep moving and keep our distance. Let's head to M10. See if we can work our way around and back up.
Control con difficulty of 1. Engines con for the assist. Gain 2 momentum.
Capped.
On the blip, you pick up a Nausicaan cruiser nearby. It is the Raiders' go, though, real quick. Wow. Back to you guys.
Right. Let's keep making our way around to G9.
Yeah. Control con. Engines gone. Diff 1. It's 3 floats.
Can we create a advantage with a probe to send out basically a signal that might cause them to chase it?
The advantage has to pertain to the actual movement of the ship.
Well, is there a way? I don't know if advantage is the right word. Basically, send a probe out that.
You can't use a probe. That's a different task for a probe.
How about the advantages by moving into this hex? There was a slightly denser amount of stellar or stellar matter, a nebular wisp
Stellar radiation.
that increases the difficulty for ships to see us in this hex.
Okay.
Been 2 of the float on that. Captain, recommend we send a probe to F8. Yes, F8.
1 second. Wow. They're rolling like champs.
They can burn all their good rolls now, and then when just they won't be able to do anything.
It is back to you guys.
Out of curiosity, can we tell what this is?
What is what?
Well, I can kind of see.
It is a little too far out, but it is some sort of stellar, object. Like, it's just on the edge of your sensor range. Like, you have to move in closer or send a probe that direction.
Well, we can't stay here. All right, let's push up to F8.
Control con, engines con. 2 float.
A better reading of what that structure is.
It has to pertain to the movement of the ship when you create an advantage from float like that.
No, I was just asking, do we know what that thing is now that we're...
Oh, let's resolve the roll first, then I'll tell you.
Okay.
So, what do you wish to do about the float?
Have any ideas?
Let's say we're following that that nebular wisp and maintaining the difficulty for them to detect us when they come in range.
Okay. They do that.
Hey.
So, that object is a interstellar comet. Typical comet contains, water molecules, or well, ice, and basic, carbon, and other elements, most likely formed from an impact long ago.
So we've just discovered a new comet then. Cool. We can call it the Stingray Comet.
Later.
Thinking targets probably are that arc.
All right, let's
Be
start
further up.
making a...
Let's why don't we send a probe into F10,
Or
a little
yeah,
look ahead, since we got a little breathing space for the moment.
Yeah. Take it so with her.
Control security, difficulty of 1, specify the ship's weapons plus security.
Wow.
3 float. And you launch a probe.
Big probe. Holy crap.
Well, it's because of the map.
Any chance of making an advantage that targeting with the probe was so spot on that it increased its range a bit? Putting it above and beyond that stellar wisp or nebular wisp we've been hiding in? A clearer region?
There you go.
Started out.
She's got a lot of company down there.
So I'm thinking
Could be a close eye on something important. Have we noticed that big ship move at all?
Not yet. No, it seems to be stationary for the moment.
can I see if the readings on that ship match the one that the Valor encountered in that corridor when they first ran into?
Reason plus Con difficulty of 2, assisted by these ships. Since we'll go sensors con, so it'll be diff 1. Yeah, reason con, diff 1.
Computers for focus?
More like starship recognition.
Fair enough.
The one few times
Ooh.
it comes into play.
I'll spend 2 momentum to activate Walking Encyclopedia to give myself starship recognition focus.
Okay.
It was difficulty 1.
Yes, difficulty of 1.
Spend another momentum for a 3rd die since I'm rolling 13 on this. Shit. So this is how I'm rolling tonight. Okay, I understand.
Unfortunately, the readings, you're not sure if they match or not. The ship in question.
That was control command, not control con.
Control command's actually better. Oh wait, no, it should be reason con.
Yeah, reason con.
Sorry. We roll.
No. So what's the roll?
It would have been 13.
Yeah, you
still
whipped
it.
Yeah.
I can re-roll 1 though.
All right.
No,
you can't.
No, I
re-roll
can't.
1.
It's science, not con. Yeah. Never mind. That's just how I'm rolling tonight. I'm playing Call of Cthulhu.
Unfortunately, you just can't identify it. So. Even with using the probe as an extension, you're just not able to get a good read on it.
Can we launch another probe directly ahead of the first probe?
No, can't daisy chain.
All right, well, since we know it's safe, let's go ahead and over to where the probe is. Closer over there at some point.
You wish to move into where the probe is at, or go above it?
Into where the probe's
at. Control con difficulty of 1.
Guess we don't go there.
You go there. You got it, just barely. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good color. Nothing wants to work with this background.
Do it black. It might work better. Because you've got a lot of blues in there.
But the space background's black, so you won't see the hex or the hex stuff. Yeah. Just go pure white. It's a little bit better. Yeah, you move closer. With that, your 1 probe, you lose communications with.
Don't build them like they used to.
Apparently, your sensors read out they have a blowout. Essentially, one of the reactors are misfiring on that cruiser, and they're attempting, they appear to be dead in the water.
I explain why they haven't moved, sir.
Would their sensors be down with
They only
trouble?
can scan in adjacent squares.
No, they still can't scan.
They can still scan. They just can't, like, if you move into adjacent square,
We're out of range.
currently you're out of range. But if you move, I'll just move it. Like, if say you move there where the probe's at, there's a chance they could detect you.
Okay.
And
Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't know if that technical difficulty.
I think it's just their engines.
yeah, their engines, they're essentially dead in the water for right now until they can mount repairs. So
Right. So yeah, we'll have to go diagonally up and then
Maybe try and come around to the base from the moving south from north.
I think he went AFK. He's BRB. I'll go ahead and roll for the sheet real quick. Engines caught, but he succeeded. No momentum gained. You pick up another sensor contact up that way.
Suggest we probe ahead. GM, would doing like a actual scanning roll give us any more detail with this kind of stuff than what we're already seeing visually?
What you're seeing visually is you're not getting more, but when you go up to like a planet, like a system, like that one, you do a scan roll for it, or anything
Okay.
like on the map that looks promising. You can do a scan.
Okay.
So. So are you wanting to launch a probe ahead of you, or?
Shoot it diagonally down. That'll give us a better eye on those ships. Maybe even show us.
They would probably detect our probe.
How difficult is it for them to
I have to make a roll. Be difficulty of 1 or 2.
I'm just curious, is it harder for them to see the probe than us?
It's about the same difficulty. Because there's an energy signature that the probe will emit, then they will lock onto that energy signature. So.
Let's just send it straight ahead, in front of us, and see what's.
Diff 1, control security, spaceships, weapons plus security. Alright, 2 momentum gained. You see a planet or a star system. Much more visibly. You can scan it from where you're at using the probe.
Scan the system, sir.
Yeah, tell me if there's anything.
Reason plus science, difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. So actually, difficulty of 1.
I have a focus that will apply. We'll take astrometrics.
Yeah, I'll take astrometrics.
Okay. Take a momentum for cautious and the third die. Roll the 0. Tapped with momentum.
3 momentum.
1 float. Captain, I'm detecting a Class O star, star catalog system, alphanumeric code AR03. No habitable planets detected. I'm not detecting any indications of advanced technology in the system.
Doesn't sound like what we're looking for. All right, let's push forward and see if we can't work our way around those ships.
Control con, difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's engines plus con. For float. As you move forward.
Can we like move faster? And that be our advantage?
Keep in mind, you don't have to do just one hex. You can move multiple hexes. It's just increases the difficulty by 1.
Oh, okay.
Also, we have no idea what's in front of us. So.
What do you wish to do with the float?
Back into the wisp of interstellar matter. Right, better.
Okay. So increases the difficulty by 1.
Correct.
Oh yeah, I need to roll. Not that roll. They'll move here. What do you guys wish to do?
Forward 1 more time.
Same roll. Engines con. Difficulty of 1 by the ship's engines con. One float.
We get a reading as of what that green thing is? Or are we too far?
Recommend we send a probe. I can't quite make it out, Captain.
Very well. Send a probe in, see what the heck that is.
You got a signature back on one of your probes, and it looks like it's been attacked by one of the Nausicaan pirate vessels, and it was destroyed.
Okay.
Well, they know someone's here.
So you want to watch the probe here?
Yes. E7.
Yes. Control security, assisted by the ship's weapon security.
Squashed.
Gain a momentum.
Goodness.
One
So-
float, and I'll add another to squash.
Wish to scan that.
Yes.
Reason plus science difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science, so difficulty of 1. Whew. Ship sensors are not happy
Why did the difficulty go down?
because advanced sensors on the ship.
Oh, okay. I haven't looked at the sheet. Okay. Just roll it flat. So I'll just use the 2 to quash.
Okay, you squash the complication.
The A gaseous cloud, sir. Perhaps stellar remnants from an ancient supernova. I am detecting some faint energy readings from within the nebula.
Any more readings?
Sorry, what was that?
Maybe any more specific on what's generating that energy?
Yeah, free science officer question. Can I is this does it appear to be natural or technological in origin? The energy readings. the nebula you're talking about is the stellar remains.
Yeah, it's essentially what remains of like a once star and
Right.
planetary system that's gone.
Right.
It makes sense as a pirate base. The asteroids of a destroyed system would definitely give decent cover.
The phone cut out for a second there. What did we determine it was?
Haven't yet.
Sorry.
It's still. GM is still sending. Can't quite determine whether it's a natural emanation or not. Could be a fusion reaction. Sorry, Captain. The nebula's interfering with our sensors. We'll need to actually move into the cloud before I can positively identify the source of the energy signature.
And the probe directly into it instead?
Would assume so, since probes are basically just extensions of the ship's sensors mechanically. Negative, sir. There's too much radiation and interference in that cloud. We wouldn't be able to maintain contact with the probe. I'm afraid we'll have to go in ourselves, sir.
Very well. But Helm, be ready to get us the hell out of here if ugly in there.
All right, to move from your current position and into the cloud is going to be a control con difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's engines plus con. Wow, 3 momentum.
So 2 float. And once we're in, I'll scan.
All right. Dun, dun. So, as give me a reason plus science difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. It's base 3, by the way.
Okay. So take a momentum for third die and cautious science.
It's sensor science for the assist from the ship.
Roll it, or just wanna?
How'd you roll? What's science score is 5, right? Is what I want.
Yeah.
So that's actually a hit for the ship. So 2 float. You are detecting several objects near a moon. metallic. You're unsure. You'll have to move in closer to investigate. But the energy readings do appear to be come from the remains of one of the outer, at least from this former supernova, what remains of potentially a gas giant or something like that, along with several, asteroids within this system.
Do I think I can maintain communication with a probe from this
No.
distance to? Okay.
Alrighty, Helm. Take us in nice and easy.
Let's
see.
Hang on. I've got a couple of momentum to ask some questions. In this little moonlet and debris and whatnot, is there a route that might provide some cover for us from potential sensor detection?
Yes, there are. Yes, you can essentially stay close to several asteroids as you move into the system.
I'll point that out to the helm. Transfer that data over.
Thank you.
How do you want to approach this?
Captain said nice and easy. I think I'll go in and try not to be detected.
Yes, as stealthy as possible, please.
Control con, difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's engines con. To float. As you begin moving sensors, your sensor contacts start beeping up as you detect multiple vessels within this area, along with a massive structure hiding near the remnants core of a gas giant, tucked nicely around some asteroids that are kind of in a little bit of an orbit of what remains.
We found it, sir.
Keep in mind, your orders were to find the station and ascertain its readiness status. So, don't know if my mic cut out earlier or not. Probably did.
So, if we do an active scan, will they detect it?
Yes, they will detect it.
Make sure we're pointed in a. What I hear. Can we create an advantage where we basically plot an escape route before we do that?
I mean, it would just reduce the difficulty by 1.
Could we put a probe in an orbital path around this asteroid, moonlet, whatever, and maybe do the scan through it when it was on kind of the opposite side of the moon from us. So the scan would be coming, say, from up here, apparently, rather than.
So communication links are very. It's hard to maintain them. So you would end up doing a scan, and you would have to then reestablish a link with it. Like, you wouldn't get the full data each time.
Okay, what about a string of probes acting like relay stations? And additionally, do I think we could get the information we need on passive scans if we were able to hang out long enough and stay undetected?
You need to do detail scans.
Okay. So what about the using a series of probes as relays?
You still have the same problem.
Okay. Captain, I don't see any other way to do it but by making a detailed direct scan and then hot-footing it out of here. The radiation around here is such that even with a daisy chain of probes, I couldn't guarantee steady communication enough to get all the details Admiral Haggard wants.
Agreed. Helm, go ahead and start plotting a course out of here. Sure, direct as possible so that we don't have to spend more time than necessary in this place.
Captain, maybe we could ready a spread of probes, each probe designed to emit the some kind of false warp signature. Might give us a little bit
I
of
asked
cover.
that last time. He said.
Oh.
I think that's what he said.
What? Cut out there.
I said I think that's what he said, is that the probe very rigged in that.
Worth an ask.
Yeah, I mean, if you go for it, I'm down for it.
So we can't do that, GM.
Probes are kind of out of the question for this part, unfortunately.
No, I'm not wanting to scan. I'm wanting to do the scan from the ship, and then, you know, as we leave, launch like a volley of probes, each probe of which is emitting some sort of signal or warp signature or whatever that makes it look like it could be a ship. So basically trying to confuse the issue, maybe make them divide their forces or go after potentially the wrong thing, and helping us get away a little easier. Not having anything to do with the scans.
You can only launch one. You can only launch one probe at a time. Just FYI.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to scan and bug out. Unless anybody's got any other ideas.
Could we potentially launch lots of probes where we're sitting? Reprogram them to all fly out at the same time.
The minute you launch them, you lose connection. So like.
Okay.
I say we just scan, just try to run away. I can't really think of anything else.
Other thing I'm thinking about, and tractor beam to rock one of those asteroids flying.
There's a thing called mass, so a lot of these asteroids are as big as the ship.
Okay, thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I think it's just a pure snoop and scoot from here.
All right, give me some good readings, and then get us the hell out of here.
So you're initiating the scan is because we are now going to go into combat rounds, just so you know, for action order. We're gonna go into essentially kind of use like combat. Like each player will get a chance to go.
Okay.
Okay. So first action is going to be the science officer. This is actually going to be an extended task.
Okay.
This is going to be control science or engineering difficulty of 5, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science, work 17, magnitude of 4, resistance of 2.
Okay.
What'd you say the ship was assisting with?
Sensors science.
Okay, she will spend a determination on the mission directive, because this is kind of what we're here for. Which will cause former initiate to fire, meaning she can reroll the whole dice pool if she decides to. She'll also give you, let's see, 2, we need 5, Chip's gonna assist. Just has already rolled a 2. So yeah, I'll just buy the 1 extra die at that point.
Okay.
One momentum gained, looks
That's
like.
6, 3 momentum gained.
2 momentum gained, right, so.
Roll 7 challenge dice for me, please. That's 4 work.
Spend a momentum for piercing.
Okay. Total of 6 work being done. That's enough for a breakthrough. That lowers the difficulty down by 1 to 4. It is now turn passes to them unless I believe one of the characters has quick to action. I think I put on the tactical officer. So unless you guys wish to keep the initiative, they're going to go.
We can use quick to action, or we can spend 2 momentum to keep it.
I mean, I do have quick to action, but unless the captain goes and directs you to go again on that roll.
If we use
Know what I
quick
mean?
action, can I do?
You can do it direct. It's essentially combat. So if someone wants to do a swift task, they can do a swift task as well. It's just an increased difficulty. It's however you guys wish to approach this. So
Science officer will do a swift task.
2 momentum being spent.
Yep. So I think that makes that a difficulty 5 for another
Yes, it is
crack at the
difficulty
work
5.
task.
Yeah.
Okay. So spend the last 3 momentum for 2 extra dice. Ship still assisting?
Yes, ship is still assisting. That just gets it. Roll 7 challenge dice. That's 2 work being done.
Yeah, I don't have any momentum left to boost that. Shit.
Do you wish to keep the initiative with quick to action?
With quick to action, can I direct him?
You can
What is
use yes. No, well, it's quick to action retains the initiative, which means one of the players on your side gets to go before I start acting with the NPCs. So Ace.
So if I can direct him to work faster, it will do that.
You can order them to scan again. Yes, you can do that. That will use up
So
your
we will-
direct, and you can only do that once per scene.
Yep. So we will do quick to action. I will direct and tell him to hurry the freak up.
Okay. Don't have any momentum to spend on extra dice. It's difficulty 4. Ship's going to assist and the captain's going to assist. So
Yes,
I'll
with
give you
control command.
I'll give you 1 threat for 3 dice.
Okay.
Got it.
1 momentum gain. Captain's is rolling with control command.
Any focuses that would apply for this?
No. Just the 1 momentum
Okay.
gain. Roll 7 challenge dice. 4 work.
Momentum for piercing should get us to the breakthrough. Correct in that? Yeah.
Yeah. Puts you at 2. Difficulty goes down to 3. I'm going to spend 2 threat. The station ridges their shields. It's going to certain parts of their ship has become shielded, so it's going to be a little bit harder to work on. So work track goes down to 10. And I'm spending some threat to activate one of the ships that is currently dormant. And it is going to do a maneuver. No, it is not. But, it is back to you guys. The captain and the science officer has gone. It is now the con, engineering, and the tactical officers. You know, someone gets to go. You also have keep the initiative. So, well, you have quick action, so you can keep if you choose to go again.
I guess I can try.
What do you
Potentially
wish?
try.
What do you wish to do?
That's gonna be.
You're not gonna be able to do the scan. Only the science officers, since they initiated the scan, is allowed to maintain the scan.
Is there a way for me to like perhaps boost the engines for our getaway?
You can generate more power. You can essentially overload the, pump more juice into it and go beyond 10 for power if you wish.
What do you guys think for the getaway, or should I try to work on something else?
How long does the power last?
Until the end of the scene, or you use it.
Okay. Yeah, pump those engines up. Get us every last volt we can.
Daring or control plus engineering, difficulty of 2. You gain 1 point of power, plus 1 additional power per momentum spent.
All right. Will you take electroplasma power systems?
Yes, I will take that.
Okay. And it was what was the roll again?
Daring or control plus engineering, difficulty of 2.
Do control. Can I use jury rig or no?
No.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and roll.
Keep in mind, you'll get 1 power back for if you succeed. If you want to get more any more power, you have to spend momentum.
All right. So, and I'll give you 1 threat to activate bold. And I'll
Okay.
give you one some additional momentum for 4 days. What do you guys think?
You only have no momentum, so you wanting to give me
Oh.
more threats.
Yeah, unless you earn some momentum to spend, you're only going to be able to boost the power by 1. So, given threat, roll some dice, get some momentum to spend. We're out.
All right, then I guess, yeah, I'll just give you some threat for 4 days now.
Okay, so total of 3 threats.
Yes. And we'll go ahead and roll. Fingers crossed.
Ship assist.
No, there's no assist from the ship. Like the
And
ship
I'll
actively
re-roll
does not want you to wants you to do this, but yeah.
I will re-roll the 0.
Okay. 3 momentum gains. You generate 1 additional power, so you're at 11 out of 10 power. Do you wish to spend any of that momentum to go beyond that further?
Yeah, we can try to go beyond that.
How much momentum are you spending?
What do
1
you guys
for
think?
1.
1.
Oh,
Yes.
it's 1 power per 1 momentum.
Yes.
All right. We currently have 10 power at the moment.
You
11.
current 11 because you generated 1 power. So you're
Okay.
max. It's 10. The ship is max is 10. You're currently at 11 power.
Okay. So let's go ahead and put in 2 or yeah, let's put in 2 momentum into it. That way we have 13.
I've changed it on the sheet.
All right. So 13 out of 10 power.
Mhm.
Either passes to them or you can use quick to action for someone else to act.
Really have anything productive that we could do?
No, not really. I think it's best to let them go real quick.
Yep. Do your worst.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely spot you. Currently, you notice that you're being currently jammed, communications wise. And it goes back to you guys. I believe it is Khan or the security officer to go.
No, the security officer hasn't gone yet.
I said it's the security officer or Khan that can still go.
Oh, I thought you said did the security officer go? Sorry. I think basically all I'm gonna do is spend a minor to raise shields.
What task are you wanting to do?
Uh, I don't quite know because I've never been in this type of predicament.
You can modulate the shields to gain ship resistance if you want, in case you come under fire.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
It has a power requirement of 1. It is control plus security assisted by the ship's structure plus engineering with the base difficulty of 2. You get 1 point of resistance, and then plus 1 per momentum spent.
Okay, so control security difficulty 2.
Yes, control security difficulty 2.
I'm guessing my focus in shipboard tactical systems comes into play.
I will allow it. Yes.
All right, take 1 threat for bold.
Okay. Three momentum gained. You get the ship's resistance goes up by 1. Do you wish to spend momentum to increase the resistance further?
We're at 4.
It is 1 for 1.
Yeah, let's go up to resistance 6. So 2 more momentum.
All right. Do you wish the turn to pass to them?
Sure.
Yeah, I think our con officer's AFK.
Do we want to let the turn pass, or do we want to keep it?
I say just let it pass.
Either that or I'm thinking keep and go evasive.
I'm already going, so
Okay.
a Nausicaan cruiser is powered up and has undocked from the station. It is back to you guys.
Evasive maneuvers.
One of you guys can open the sheet and roll for him, or I can do it since he is AFK. But this is a daring plus con, assisted by the ship's structure plus con, difficulty of 2. Because it is increased. It does also have a power requirement of 1. So, because the environment, it is difficulty 2.
All right. He does have a focus in Helm Ops. Oh, wait.
He has glancing impact and precise evasion.
Yeah.
What does precise evasion do?
If you spend 2 momentum, you negate the essentially.
Oh, the difficulty to
Yeah, the hit.
shoot our way out of this.
Or no, if you attempt the evasion test, efficient evasion, not precise. He is efficient, so he reduces your power requirement to 0 if he does it a second time. But this is the first time he's doing it, so.
Right. But glancing impact will help. Let's say take 1 threat because he's got bold.
Okay. Uh, 3 momentum gained. The ship has something too with this.
The resistance goes up a further 2.
Resistance goes up by 2.
You
8.
have also improved impulse drive. If you spend 2 momentum, your difficulty can go up by 1 to
Yeah,
div
go
4.
ahead.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Rest
Diff
of
4 with resistance 8. Yikes.
We just became, this game is a test bed for the, upgraded Oberth.
it's a long-serving Oberth. It has lasted well beyond the normal line. So.
Hell, it's rolling a 17 for any sensor science task.
It is indeed. Well, that sucks for them. Actually, they were extremely up for impulse. They move into medium range, though it actually shorted out their impulse drive, so they are no longer allowed to can no longer go into impulse. They still have 2 activations left. So this is going to be, they're going to shoot at a hellacious difficulty. Not to mention your 8 resistance. Good luck, guys. They fire their disruptor banks, just missing you guys as Commander Olsen effectively evades the shot. And
Nice flying there, son.
no, Kitty, you need to come down. They might need this. Well, they get their power back. And then the Raider that failed to launch earlier is finally going to act. They undock. And they're going to impulse. No, they're not. Apparently, this area is very bad on starships.
Happens when you don't change the oil regularly.
True. You are out of range for. You know what? These. I'll spend the threat. Why not? That is definitely a miss because it was a diff 7. But a barrage of photon torpedoes blast out from the Starbase straight for the Stingray. We are now at the top of the order.
Hey, science officer, keep scanning. I'd like to give an inspiration dice to science officer.
I can't do that, but I mean, you can roll an inspiration speech to get momentum if you want. But keep in mind, you no longer have quick action, so because it was first round only.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and do that scannage.
Did you spend 2 momentum and gave me a threat for the roll of 4?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, 2
Okay.
momentum, 1 threat for 4 dice.
Okay. 1 momentum gained. Roll sensors science.
Oh yeah, that's me. Ha.
2 total momentum generated. Roll 7 challenge dice.
That's not bad.
Nice.
That's 6. Puts you at 16 work. That is enough for a breakthrough. The difficulty goes down to 2.
Momentum for piercing to fill the trap.
Yeah, if piercing will actually make us go over the work track, which should finish it off, I believe, right, GM? Because that'll have us doing 1 more than the work. Yeah, spend 1 piercing.
You got all
Scan complete.
the technical readouts of the station along with the ships in there. Your sensors ping back. There's a total of 12 vessels here.
12.
And do we have their ready state?
Currently they're powered down, but they're about to all fire up their engines because it takes time to get their crews to their ships.
Did we get info on the base itself too?
Oh yeah, you got a whole technical readout, like Death Star plans type level stuff. So,
Cool.
the
Have
Is
the
there a
scan,
chance
sir.
that we could fire a photon torpedo in?
no, no.
We don't have torpedoes.
A probe in, have it, just clog it.
Oh.
All right, Helm. we'll go ahead and use 2 momentum, maintain the initiative, and get us the hell out of here.
Initiating get us the hell out of here maneuver, sir.
There's no exhaust port included in those Death Star plans.
Hey, at least we didn't lose any boffins.
What is the con roll for that?
It is daring plus con difficulty of to get out of here. Though it's gonna be difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's engines plus con. But do you know how much power you're spending? Keep in mind you cannot spend to go to warp beyond your actual total engine score.
What is our current power right now?
Current power is 11. Our total engine score is 10. We can dump 10.
All right, give us everything we've got. All
I
10 power.
I thought we had 13 power.
But we spent a couple.
We spent 2 to do a couple things.
Oh, okay.
Very non-script important stuff.
Alrighty, with bold con, there's gonna be a threat given. Well, wait, hold on. How about a determination spin for Olson on fast ships and strange new worlds?
Sure.
Or if you'll take it, mission directive.
I said yes. The value will apply.
Sorry, didn't hear you.
Two momentum generated, and you go down to 1 power.
Check.
You warp out at 1 power. Keep in mind there's some that's been alerted to your presence. You need to kind of get far, far away from here still.
What is that planet to the north of us?
I think it's another Federation colony, if I recall right.
Yes, it's another Federation colony. Actually, I should ask which hex do you wish to warp to?
So E17.
Scene change by any chance?
No, you have to escape. Just keep in mind, those guys cannot pursue, but doesn't mean that someone else isn't. They're going to attempt to.
Isn't there like a cruiser next to F-14?
There was. That's what he's saying. We're going to have to re-navigate our way out of here.
My question is where do we have to get to?
You have to get back to 211, or you can attempt to transfer the essentially information, which will be a roll, to 211. or the nearest Federation colony, which could be devastating for them. But keep in mind,
Okay,
the further
is it
in you in
our
here.
turn?
So keep in mind that where you're at currently, it's going to be a really hellacious difficulty to essentially send the communication out.
Is it our turn or is it their turn again?
It's your turn because you did the warp, like, and you spent all the power. You guys have the initiative currently.
Okay. Let's head to E15.
I'll give it to you for free because of momentum, but it's back to you guys.
Okay. E13.
Keep in mind we can move more than one hex. It just increases the difficulty. So if we want to move 2, he can roll a diff 2 task.
Keep in mind, you guys are also at 1 power.
Okay, so but last time we were maneuvering through here, we weren't having to spend power to move.
Right. Right now you don't have to, but you know, if you're wanting to go, you know, it's increased difficulty, but you might have to spend a power to move beyond 2. So if you want to go 3, you're gonna have to spend a power.
But we can move 2 hexes at a time without spending power.
Yes.
Just increasing
Go to
difficulty.
11.
Control con difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's engines con. They're still AFK. And
Olsen.
Yeah, Olsen.
You want me to roll for Olsen?
Sure.
What was the difficulty again for that?
2.
And 2. I'll give you 1 threat for 3 dice to activate bold. Oh, wait, yeah, alright.
Gain a momentum.
And I'll go and re-roll that 0. There we go.
It's 2. 4 momentum gained.
Tapped.
Perfect.
It's back to you guys.
Can we have to go in straight lines or can we do like an L?
You have to go in straight lines if you're doing 2.
Okay,
So
so we
we'll-
could go to like E7, but not F8 or.
Yeah.
Let's go to E7.
Same roll. Darren Con difficulty of 2.
I'll just go ahead and give you 1 momentum.
You're doing momentum.
Actually, yeah, 1 momentum for 3 dice.
Does he have bold or cautious?
He has bold, but we're capped, so I was like, all right.
Okay.
You won't get the reroll. Keep that in mind.
No.
Gain a momentum. On your console, there, Jazarel, you sensors indicate you're approaching a system that you are not authorized to be at.
I think it's that one.
Yes, it is that one.
Has the only death penalty in the Federation.
No, it doesn't have a death penalty. It's just saying you're not authorized to be here. There's like, you should deviate.
Okay, it's back to our turn though.
Wasn't there like a star over there?
Yeah, but we can still go into that hex because I mean it just means there's a star system there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is back to you guys.
So yeah, we'll go down to I can't.
G5.
It's G5.
Darren Con, difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's engines con.
I'll just go ahead and roll normally.
Complication on the board.
Ooh.
2 complications on the board.
Just use the
more momentum.
to.
It's okay.
Down to 2 momentum.
That was supposed to be engines, but it's a 1. Or not, sensor science, but it's a 1 or 2. So it's just 1. You get it. Back to you guys.
I'm boogieing.
You guys want to try to just make a break for it and right down to here.
I think we can go this way. Yeah.
It will cost you a power to go 4 or to go 3.
Right.
Well,
I'm just.
we go to 0.
Yeah, it means you're
I'm
dead.
just-
We can't do anymore.
Yeah, that means you can't act anymore if you go less than, the 1 power.
But I think
And
if we keep heading the direction we're heading, even at 2x's at a time, we're heading back towards 211, right?
You gotta go back to L2, but yeah. If you go the other direction, so if you go this way, you're going towards Cardassian space.
Okay. But yeah, we can do 2 more here and then go south.
Okay, so let's go here.
Is there a way for us to regain our power, or no? Non-warp.
You can, yes. You just take
But it
something
will be
out.
a task.
Oh, right. And
We
then
won't get to
just-
move.
It's Daring Con, difficulty of 2 if you're going to assisted by the ship's engines con.
Welcome back, Michaels.
It's you take over for Olsen Michaels.
So am I rolling control con?
Daring Con, because you're stressing the ship right now.
We're being stressed. We're being chased.
Yeah. 1 momentum gained.
Okay, and then L1 is what down.
Hold up. They get to go.
I'm just trying to figure out where it is.
I'm gonna spend the 1 I gained.
2 is here. Right, so just there, then there.
You get a ping from the outpost at the colony there that they have Nausicaan pirates heading in towards their system. It's back to you guys.
There's nothing we can do to help because we have limited weaponry.
Notify Starfleet so that they can go over there and assist. We'll just die with the colony. Starfleet will never know. So, unfortunately, have to half ears and head straight down.
Daring Con difficulty 2, system of the ship's engines con.
Could I make it difficulty 3 to go the entire way?
No, you can't do L's because you have to alter, like, kind of curve your. You can only go in straight lines. So, and it uses
Yep.
1 power because then you'd be out of power. So.
Yep, we can move a maximum of 2 without using our last power, and once we use the last power, we're dead in space.
Okay.
Apparently,
Take that.
The ship doesn't want to help. It does not want to help as usual.
See? Now, the ship was doing fine until you started talking shit.
Gaining momentum. What about the complication?
I believe we can quash it.
one. So long, Tovan 3. Would have been a great colony.
Actually, no, I'll spend 2 threat to keep. All right, it's back to you guys.
20 save. Right, so I guess we'll go to that last space to L2. That's where we have to go, right?
You have to go beyond it, but you can go straight. You can go that general direction.
2?
Yeah.
So we're
Daring Con difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's engines con.
nice ship.
Take another threat.
Gain a momentum. And you leave the Argosis cluster. As you eventually make your way to 2-on-1, and the Nausicaan vessels stop pursuit.
I want to fight the station.
Currently, you're on course for 2-on-1. You will arrive there within a few hours.
Captain will stand and little speech my way. I just want to take a moment to congratulate you all on doing a adequate job, and know that you are one of the better crews in Starfleet, and I know that together, definitely great things in the future. I look forward to giving you all satisfactories on your next evaluations.
An adequate job. Ha! You call this an adequate job?
Captain, just in case, I recommend now that we're clear of the interference, we transmit our findings to 211 ahead of us.
Still being jammed?
Oh, you're long gone, so.
Oh,
We're clear of the interference, sir.
good idea. Go ahead and broadcast away. That I'll be giving you Achieves Plus in your rating. Do we get a momentum for my speech?
No.
No, that was not a rally.
Never got when I was in the federal.
Back on board the USS Valor, Commander Shushan, you get a transmission from Admiral Haggard for station meeting of all senior staff within the task force, bright and early at 0800 tomorrow.
I will inform the captain.
And scene change, by the way.
Oh, now you take the momentum. I see how it is.
So if there's any roleplay you guys wish to do before we end the session for today, feel free. If not, we will call that the end of Sting Like Bee.
Can Taven send a personal message to Admiral Haggard requesting if he could bring some of his world famous coffee beans?
You don't want those that were made by Dr. Hardman?
Oh, those are long gone, like 60 years gone.
David doesn't really know about Hardman. He knows that there was somebody who always kept coffee ship, but he doesn't.
Sure, you send the message.
I'd like to list the message as urgent. But yeah, that's about it for.
Haggard, upon receiving this urgent message and realizing that it's asking for coffee, will, and recognizing Taven's name as being that officer that he had to have dragged off the Starbase at one point, will call up Taven's record and recent report files from the Valor and start going over them, seeing if there's anything of note or concern in the files. Like, from a counselor or something.
Other than that,
uncooperative patient.
Uncooperative patient, but other than that, that was the only disciplinary action that he's had. It has been flagged that he has an issue with one of the officers that he serves with. But
any details on that issue?
No, because no one's able to get out of him why. But no major brawls. He hasn't hit anyone or, been offensive other than that time on the Starbase.
All right. Haggard will put in a call to Captain Maxwell.
Maxwell here.
Captain, do you want to tell me why your chief of security is contacting me requesting coffee for the Valor?
He's doing what?
I just received a communication marked urgent, a personal communication, I might add, marked urgent, requesting a supply of my blend of coffee for the Valor. I don't particularly mind answering the request, but it just strikes me odd that it's coming from your chief of security. Looking over his file, I note that your ship's counselor has noted that he was an uncooperative patient when he was ordered to come to see her due to some issue with another crewman. This apparently doesn't seem to have been resolved. Captain, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that officers... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did he have like a disconnection or something?
He's having mic troubles.
Let's just say that that one is more animalistic instinct.
All right, I really don't have time to pry into that any further. What I will say is that this officer has come to my attention twice now in a not particularly positive respect. I'm beginning to believe that you need to handle this situation. And believe me, Captain, if you won't handle it, I will.
I understand that, Admiral. Deal with it before we get underway.
Very well, Captain. I'm sure that you're capable of handling it. Haggard out.
And Maxwell is going to go. Maxwell to the Shran.
Shran here, sir.
Get me Taven now.
Aye, sir. Shran to Taven.
Haven here.
Commander Taven, you're to report to the captain's ready room immediately.
Yes, sir. Push the little button.
Enter.
Haven, reporting as ordered, sir.
Commander Taven. What in the world are you doing contacting the Admiral in a personal message marked urgent about his coffee?
Oh, sir. This coffee is legendary, and the performance of the crew has been affected by the lack of coffee in the morning. I felt it was urgent to remedy the situation to bring the ship's performance to maximum efficiency, sir.
You still don't go around standard supply requisitions in order to get specific kind of coffee, especially a personal message to the Admiral marked urgent that is not urgent.
Honestly, sir, I'm a little surprised from what I know of Admiral. I always heard that he was a true coffee lover and would understand the urgency of such a need. Suppose I was in error, sir.
He is a true coffee lover, Commander. However, he prefers it when people go through proper channels. The way you went around asking him about this made him come down on me. He pulled your file.
Oh, sir, I like to think that my service has been distinguished in my combat and prowess in the battlefield.
Oh, your service has definitely been distinguished, Commander, in all the wrong ways.
See,
At least, that's what the Admiral saw.
I am saddened to hear that the Admiral did not see any of my more positive actions.
Look, Commander, the Admiral came down on me. He told me that if I didn't fix whatever it was that was going on with you, that he was going to take care of it. And he is not going to be anywhere as near as nice as I am trying to be right now. Perhaps it's my failing, I don't know. But right now, especially with the Admiral being now taking a direct interest in both me and you, it's really time to get your act together.
I understand, sir.
And quit alienating the rest. I know he's a big cat and you're a big bird. But
I
still,
like to think I'm
he's a
a
fellow
petite
crew
bird.
member. Still, my analogy should prove my point.
I think that we have a working understanding so far.
True, you give him all the crummy details that you don't want to do, and that keeps him out of your sight for the majority of the time.
Actually,
Still,
sir, I
Commander,
rather enjoy phaser practice and tuning, but I see your point, sir.
thank you, Commander. Please deal with it, and I do not want to be getting another call from the Admiral concerning details like this, where you have gone around the standard chain of command to try and do something what might be good for the crew. It's not the way things are handled in Starfleet. I hope you understand that.
I understand, sir. Although, I do have a small request. I have been working on acquiring very rare coffee that I heard that the captain used to serve on his ship. It might be a welcome gesture to the Admiral to such a nostalgic moment of coffee that he had on his ship.
I'll see if I can find it, and if I can, I'll get it requisitioned through proper channels. Seeing as how engineering still needs to replace that coffee maker in the galley, it might take a while.
Oh, sir, I'm afraid this coffee probably won't be requisitioned through normal channels. It appears to be extraordinarily rare, not easily found in Starfleet. And odd that he air blend on his ship, but I suppose men like Haggard have their works to them.
They have their perks, Commander. But please do not go around my back or around the chain of command again, at least not for the foreseeable future.
Oh, sir.
You're dismissed, Commander.
Thank you, sir. And just to be clear, should I attempt to get said coffee or no?
I wouldn't try right now. Said coffee might have to wait. We might have to go with the cheap stuff for now. As they would say
Very well.
back in.
I will at least keep an eye out for it, just in case it should come up. Never know.
Understood, Commander.
That he'll do an about face and out. Oh well. Haggard will eventually get special blend.
You're bucking to have to make a new character because yours gets grounded.
Okay, with if there's nothing else, I think we'll end today's session.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else for my character to do. Actually, you know what? No, I think my character will go ahead and ask for permission up through chain of command, which I would assume would be up to Shran, for permission to add some modifications to the warp engines.
What
Or warp.
kind of modifications, Lieutenant?
Pardon me for asking, sir, but sorry, I just had to clear my throat. Apologies to asking you, sir, but it appears that my predecessor has made some modifications to the engines in the past, and it looked very very promising, and I just would like to try to replicate the same thing.
Yes, he managed to squeeze an extra, almost an full extra hour at a maximum warp out of the engines. I think that was right if I'm remembering.
I was I was going to try to replicate this, since I understand that the battle that the battle had some very hard hits to the ship.
And we had to replace the entire starboard nacelle and warp coils. It pretty much undid all the work he was able to do. Certainly, permission granted to make those modifications. You might at some point look at the impulse and maneuvering systems. A little bit of extra juice there always comes in handy in a scrap.
Okay. All right. I will also look into that. Look into the impulse engines as well. Thank you for your time, sir.
Of course. Good luck.
And yeah, he had.
Anything else anybody else wish to do? We lost the Michaels. With that, we'll bring the session to a close.